Do you feel like I'm misfit? Everything inside you is dark and twisted. Oh, but you be different, 'cause baby, so am I. So the whispers all across the room. You feel her eyes all over you like she think you're beautiful, misunderstood. So why you trying to be just like I did for that? I can see it, what you feel. So let me tell you about what I didn't see. I'm a bit crazy underneath. That is underneath.
Good morning. On behalf of everyone in the David C. Frederick Honors College, welcome. We are absolutely thrilled that you can join us today as we recognize our undergraduate students as they complete their journey through the University of Pittsburgh. I direct that the academic processional party now enter. We welcome staff members Gail Wolf and Brett Say, our student speaker, Nina Mennies, our guest speaker, Damon Young, our Electus faculty fellows, Dr. Karhai Chu, Dr. Teresa Hagen-Thomas, Dr. Joaquim Rodriguez, our Assistant Dean David Hornyak, and our Dean, Dr. Nicola Foote.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Nicola Foote, the Dean of the David C. Frederick Honors College at the University of Pittsburgh. And it is my incredible honor to welcome you all to this exciting and historic occasion. This commencement ceremony for the David C. Frederick Honors College class of fall 2023 is the very first winter commencement ceremony in our institutional history. It marks a new and exciting chapter in our college traditions. So congratulations, students. You're part of something truly historic and wonderful. I'm especially honored to welcome you all to such a stunning and festive location. The Heinz Chapel is one of the most iconic sites at the University of Pittsburgh and, of course, in the city as a whole, and we are so lucky to be gathered here today. Today is a day of celebration. Commencement is one of the most joyous occasions in academic life. It commemorates and recognizes years of hard work and dedication. The honors graduates gathered here today have gone far above and beyond what is required to earn a degree. They did not stick to a single major or learn only through passing exams and tests. They committed to additional academic challenges, both inside and outside of the classroom. They explored across disciplinary boundaries. They mastered experiential learning. They conducted research. They studied abroad and studied away. They served the community and took on leadership roles. We have students here today who spent entire semesters overseas, who've presented their original research at national and international conferences, who have published articles in peer-reviewed journals, who've competed successfully for fellowships, grants, and awards, including some of the most prestigious and competitive in the world. They've undertaken internships with leading companies, nonprofits, and health organizations, and they've created meaningful change on campus as leaders, mentors, ambassadors, and teaching assistants. And most importantly, these honors students have been a community, supporting one another and making the Frederick Honors College a special and intimate place where talented students thrive. Graduating students, it is an honor to stand before you today and congratulate you on your amazing accomplishments. You have worked so hard, and I am so incredibly proud of you. I learn so much every time I interact with you, and it has been a privilege to serve as your dean. I also want to recognize the people who have helped you get here today. Your families, friends, professors, advisors, scholar mentors, and others have all played an important role in your journey, providing you with the support, guidance, and encouragement that you needed to succeed. So to the families and friends gathered here today, I want to say a heartfelt thank you. Your love, patience, support, and sacrifice have been instrumental in the success of our students, and we are all so grateful to you for the role that you've played in shaping these amazing young leaders. Now, to share some words of inspiration and wisdom with the graduating class of winter 2023, it is my incredible honor to introduce the David C. Frederick Honors College's inaugural writer-in-residence, Damon Young. Before I welcome him up here, let me tell you a little bit about his incredible work. Damon is one of the nation's most accomplished and celebrated humor writers, and he is by far the most important and influential contemporary author based in and writing about the city of Pittsburgh. Damon's debut memoir, What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Blacker, a memoir and essays, won the 2020 Thurber Prize for American Humor, as well as Barnes & Noble's Discover Award. He founded the culture blog Very Smart Brothers. He's served as a contributing columnist for the Washington Post magazine, as a contributing opinion writer for the New York Times, and a columnist for GQ. He's also the creator and host of the Crooked Media podcast, Stuck with Damon Young. Damon is not a Pitt alum, but he is a native Pittsburgher who grew up in Penn Hills and East Liberty. And despite many extremely remunerative offers to relocate to New York, to LA, he's stayed here in the city as his career has skyrocketed. As writer-in-residence at the Frederick Honors College, Damon is a powerful and inspirational presence who provides workshops and individualized mentoring for honors students, and who can frequently be found writing in his office in the cathedral. In fact, his new anthology on Black American humor was finished and submitted from the 36th floor of the cathedral. We're so lucky to have him here with us, and I'm thrilled to introduce him as our Winter 2023 Commencement keynote speaker. Please join me in welcoming Damon Young to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you, Dean Foote, for just such a tremendous introduction, and congratulations to all of the graduates, all their families and friends who are here today. It is truly an honor to be here and speak in front of you. So thank you for that. So when Dean Foote, reached out to me and asked me to do this about a month ago, I was thinking, okay, what should I say to the graduates? What can I give them that would matter, that would be important, that they might not have heard before? And so I finally came up with it. I'm going to teach you how to deliver a commencement address. Okay, because you might be up here one day and you want to be equipped with the skill set to learn how to do it. So here's 8 tips. Number 1, the first thing you should do if someone like Dean Foote asks you to deliver a commencement address is take out your phone and sprint to Google. Once there, take a breath and search for how much money should I ask for if asked to deliver a commencement address. You might not find a direct answer, or you might find many answers. Like, for instance, Oprah this year gave the commencement at Tennessee State University, her alma mater. And maybe you won't be able to find her fee, which means either she waived it, or maybe the internet would have run out of bandwidth if someone attempted to publish it. You might even see that in 2015, Matthew McConaughey got $135,000 from the University of Texas. This might confuse you because, you liked him in A Time to Kill and The Wolf of Wall Street, and you even pretended to understand Interstellar to impress your partner's parents. But really? So you start calibrating. Because if he's getting enough to buy a fully loaded 2024 Range Rover, you have to be worth at least enough to catch an Uber to Cleveland. But then if you continue to Google, you'll see that most universities now don't offer a fee for this. And most celebrities waive them anyway. So you take another deep breath and a hard swallow, and you agree to do it for free. Number 2, remind the students that they are privileged, and not privileged in the context of advantage, even though many of them are that too, but privileged to have earned a degree. Now, it might seem paradoxical to use privileged and earned in the same sentence. Privilege, again, means unearned advantage. And if they're sitting in front of you while you're delivering the commencement, they've definitely earned it. Through study, through sweat, through sacrifice. And if they're from Pittsburgh, through the sodium-drenched foods that dominate the menus of literally every restaurant in Oakland. But then it's crucial, so damn crucial, to tell them that luck ain't a 4-letter word. And that kismet and happenstance ain't just some fancy words to describe lucky things that happen to other people. Remind them of all the people who've assisted them. Parents, teachers, siblings, friends, barbers, cousins, counselors, neighbors, bus drivers, and how fortuitous it was to have these people in their lives. Ask them to recall all the things that could have derailed them but didn't. Things that stopped other people who worked just as hard as they did from succeeding like they have. You want to do this because this sort of perspective can be an anchor, preventing them from swaying too much when the wind blows too hard. It keeps them grounded, grateful, and also, and mostly, it encourages them that when they walk through that door, to open it wider, to blast it off the hinges, instead of slamming it shut behind them. Number 3. So this is more of a craft-related thing. If you're lucky, maybe 20% of the students will know who you are. And trust me when I tell you that 100% of them would rather count the hairs on a mosquito's ass than listen to some droning and cliche-filled screed at the butt crack of dawn. So even if you're saying some nonsense, here's a quick way to keep their interest. Vary the length of your sentences. That means short ones. Yep. Short ones. And then short ones followed by sentences that are longer. And then maybe something so long that it becomes noticeably long, and they're actively anticipating the end because they know the rhythm of sentences and how predictable they can be, especially when you modulate your voice and use a certain cadence that signifies that the sentence is ending, even though you're still going and it hasn't ended quite yet. Then another short sentence, maybe even shorter, like this. Number 4. Emphasize to the students that they didn't pay all this money for all this education, just to shut up when it's necessary to speak up. Remind them that the privilege you spoke of before comes with responsibility to use their voice for good and to stand up for people who maybe don't have the same platform, the same vocabulary, the same status, the same opportunity that they do. Maybe share a story about a time you didn't do that and how you've lived with that regret. And if you don't have a story of your own, you can borrow mine about the time maybe 17 years ago when I was playing pickup basketball and some muscle-bound guy on the other team was bullying one of my teammates, and I just let it happen. I could have said something, anything. Chill, fam, that's not cool. We're just out here hooping, trying to have fun. But I said nothing. And my teammate eventually just left because this guy wouldn't stop and no one had his back. Of course, everyone experiences fear. And remind the students that none of them are immune to that. But then make very plain that each time we refuse to say the right thing, even if it's difficult, even if it's painful, a part of them dies. And if enough parts of them die, there will be nothing left but a bottomless pit of regret. Number 5, it's just as important to emphasize to them the importance of listening, and also how listening can be a weapon for good, and how silence, yes, just silence, at the right times can disarm, can deconstruct, can calm, and can alleviate, but can also unsettle, rattle, disturb, and unnerve. See what I mean? Okay. Number 6, share with them the inevitability of messing up, of making the wrong decision, of messing people up. It'll happen to them at work. It'll happen to them in friendships. It'll happen to them within romantic relationships. They will be the bad guy sometimes. They will be the villain sometimes. Remind them, though, that the acknowledgement of the inevitability of hurting other people ain't permission to do it. No, this is preparation for when it happens. And then tell them that when it happens, and it will definitely happen, they need to learn the value of apology, of admitting that they were wrong. And not some half-assed politician apologies either. Tell them not to say mistakes were made, or I acted hastily, or it was a regrettable thing. No, tell them to learn how to acknowledge what they did and to do it with an active voice. Here's an example. I'm sorry, Topanga, for eating your soup. And then also for trying to convince you with pie charts and PowerPoints that the person who actually stole your soup was Abraham Lincoln, risen from the grave. I was wrong for that. Also remind them, though, that the person they did the bad thing to has no obligation to forgive them. Tell them that once you do the thing, the reaction to the thing you did is out of your hands. And then tell them that all they can control is to move forward with integrity. Number 7. So if your mom died 10 years ago, like mine did, use some space to talk about her too. If you're from Pittsburgh, like I am, and you used to catch a 77B from Penn Hills to Oakland when you were 13 and 14, like I used to, just to try to sneak in a Trees Hall to play basketball at night because it was the only outdoor court available, like I used to. Mention the irony of being asked to deliver a commencement address at the same place you've been kicked out of for not having proper ID. And then bring your mom back up. And take a moment to reflect on how you wish you could have just one day, just 1 hour, just 1 minute with her again, so she could witness you up there giving that speech, and so you could witness her watching you. And if you grew up in a pre-gentrified East Liberty, like I did, acknowledge how the University of Pittsburgh seemed a galaxy away, like it was on a different planet than the one you inhabited. But then mention your mom again, and your dad too, and how they built wormholes for you, where nothing felt inaccessible, because nothing was. And then say, you wish you could build one for her too. And then tell the students that they're also in the wormhole building business, and that the degree that they're leaving the University of Pittsburgh with is just a sheet of paper that could be torn, shredded, lost. But then tell them that what that paper represents is a world where no goal is unreachable, but then tell them that what that paper represents is a world where no room is inaccessible. But then tell them that what that paper represents is preparation for jobs that don't even exist yet. And then close by telling the students that what that paper represents is deep, 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 bone deep inside of them, can never be taken away. And lastly, number 8, it might be a bit somber after you speak about your mom. So mention that if she were here, she definitely would have told you to tell Pitt to pay you for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Damon, for those moving, funny, and inspirational words. Next, I am delighted to introduce to you our student speaker representing the class of Winter 2023, Nina Mennies. Nina was selected as our student commencement speaker by a committee of FHC student leaders, staff, and faculty as a result of her noteworthy accomplishments and contributions to the Frederick Honors community. Nina is graduating today with a BPhil degree in urban studies with minors in applied statistics and economics, as well as a certificate in public and professional writing. Nina has a long-standing passion for addressing food insecurity, and that has been the primary focus of her work throughout her time at Pitt. Her BPhil thesis focuses on the organizational capacity of food assistance organizations in Pittsburgh. Nina was extremely well placed to conduct that research because she has held internships and research fellowships with some of the most important food assistance organizations in the region, including the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank, the Allegheny Health Network Healthy Food Center, and the Narbeth Community Food Bank. She also worked on food assistance during her year as an Elsie Hillman Scholar via a partnership between the FHC and the Institute of Politics here at Pitt. In 2022, Nina was selected as a Newman Civic Fellow, perhaps the nation's most prestigious and competitive award for community engaged leadership and civic action. To compete for a Newman Fellowship, students must be nominated by the chancellor of their institution based on their work with communities and their potential as public leaders. Nina's commitment to serving others and to solving one of the most challenging social problems of our time is incredibly inspiring and impactful, and I am so honored to introduce her to you. So please join me in welcoming Nina to the podium.
Thank you so much, Dean Foote, for such a kind introduction. I want to start, of course, by saying a huge congratulations to the fall 2023 graduating class. We should all feel so proud of ourselves and of one another. I was really surprised and honored that I was chosen to speak today. I thought that I'd be sitting in the audience, getting advice and inspiration from one of the many extremely accomplished students in this room. To be completely honest, I feel far from qualified to be giving you any kind of advice. But as I was writing this speech, I spent a lot of time reflecting on my experience here at Pitt, and that helped me come to some realizations that have brought me a bit more peace and clarity as I look toward my future. I certainly don't have it all figured out, and my advice and reassurance is directed inward just as much as it is towards you. When I first arrived at Pitt, I was so excited. I was going to make the most out of my college experience and do it as a new and improved version of myself. As I was hanging up my posters, I could already see it in front of me. I would join clubs, make tons of new friends, throw frisbees around campus lawns like I was in the opening credits of some 90s college movie. That didn't happen. I wandered around the club fair picking up flyers, but couldn't get myself to go to a single meeting. I used up every absence that my professors allowed for. I spent most of my time in my dorm calling my parents just to hear their voices, even though I didn't have anything to say. After my first semester, I was sitting in my advisor's office talking about taking a leave of absence. I had been so sure that this was going to be the best year of my life, that I was going to finally feel confident and driven and fulfilled. After all, I'd planned it all out. But what I really felt was scared and alone, and I just wanted to go home. And my wish came true, because soon we were all packing our things, about to enter a time that none of us had prepared for. And it was then, back in my childhood bedroom, back at what felt like square one, that I felt something shift. At a time of complete uncertainty about what I was doing and what was happening in the world, I realized that I had to start learning to give up control, to focus on the things that bring me inspiration and joy without setting expectations. We're constantly hearing about resilience and grit, about pushing through obstacles and fighting to achieve our goals. But I really think that life doesn't have to be all about the fight. It can also be about trust and about surrender, about knowing that no matter what we envision for ourselves, we'll be taken in directions that we don't expect. It's about remembering that even when we feel scared and lost and uncertain about who we are and what we're doing, we still continue to move forward. Embracing trust doesn't mean being passive. It takes courage to let go of the need to control and plan every aspect of our lives. It's not about abandoning resilience. It's about complementing it with a deep faith in ourselves and the world around us. It's about recognizing that sometimes our moments of greatest growth come not only from our grit, but from our capacity to adapt and evolve, from a commitment to accepting all possible outcomes and acting from a place of earnestness and passion that goes beyond the desire for achievement. We're all about to step into a new chapter of our lives. It's exciting and it's terrifying. But the future isn't some abstract, looming thing. It's already happening. We move from the present into the future with each passing second. And if we try our best to live with sincerity, with trust in ourselves, there should really be nothing to fear. So right now, let's just celebrate. Let's be present. And let's trust that we're exactly where we're meant to be. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Nina. I think we will all agree that Nina is destined for truly extraordinary things. I'm so proud of you, Nina, and grateful to share this moment with you. So we now proceed to this moment in our ceremony where we will recognize our graduates on the stage. As the students come to the stage, they will be presented with their honors regalia by FHC Assistant Dean David Hornyak. Honors distinction students will be presented with a Frederick cord. Honors joint degree students will be presented with a Frederick mini hood, and BPhil recipients will be presented with a Frederick medallion. Following the presentation of their regalia, students will come to the center of the stage for receipt of their diploma from me, and we will take a photo together holding the diploma. Leading the presentation of the graduates will be Liz Adams, Director of Honors Advising for the Frederick Honors College.
Graduates, as you come to the stage, please leave your programs in your seats. We'll now start by recognizing the honors distinction students. Please rise and come forward. Evan Kozarok. Krishna Nayak. Sarah McGoldrick. Kit Conway. We now recognize our honors degree students. Sarah Faith Barnes. Brenna Callahan. Rima Jadav. Kristen Usselton. Emily Ruth Rhoda. Victoria Hart. Anuya Prabhudasai. Katie Du Nguyen. Alexis Lindsay Hammer. Kira Jane Wisniewski. Emma Toman. Sarah Aubrey Givoni. Pritam Bamanapati. Alexandru Pelinescu. Caitlin Anake. Dylan Delapaz. Anish Kamath. Emma Rose Mahali. We now recognize our BPhil students. Peter Busker. Anna Baskin and Professor Susan Lucas. And Nina Mennies. Graduates, we are all so proud of you. Congratulations.
So now we get to the moment that I think you've all been waiting for, the turning of the tassel. New graduates of the David C. Frederick Honors College, please take the tassel on your graduation cap and move it from right to left. Congratulations, you are officially graduates of the Frederick class of winter 2023. You have now completed one of the most rigorous and demanding educations available anywhere in the nation, and you have become part of a Frederick Honors alumni network that stretches back over 38 years and that encompasses members from virtually all parts of the world. As part of the Frederick alumni family, you will always have our commitment, care, and support. We encourage you to come and visit us at the top of the Cathedral of Learning whenever you are on campus, to read our email updates and follow our social media channels. And we hope that as you build your future success, you will give back your time and resources by mentoring and supporting other honors students, following in the example of David C. Frederick, Pittsburgh's Rhodes Scholar, for whom our college was named in recognition of his extraordinary public service work and his commitment to our college. We are so proud of you all, and we can't wait to see what you do in the world and to benefit from the positive change that you will create. You and your families are invited to continue the celebrations with us at our reception in the iconic Phipps Botanical Gardens beginning at noon. I will now turn over to Director Liz Adams to conclude the ceremony and announce the processional. Thank you.
Concludes the 2023 David C. Frederick Honors College Winter Commencement. I ask that students and their families remain seated as the platform party exits. So now, if Gail Wolf and Brett Say could lead the platform party out. And we hope that you join us at Phipps at noontime. Thank you, everyone.